All right, today's lesson is about standard form and slope-intercept form. Okay, so you don't need to know what those mean because it's really going to be about recognizing what they look like. We've already talked about slope-intercept form. That's the formal name for this y equals mx plus b. Okay, and why is it called that? Well, it's really simple because slope tells you the slope, right? So we've been learning the last couple of days, and it also tells you the intercept or the y-intercept. And those are really helpful because we saw that, oh, that can relate to our change and that can relate to our starting amount. And we can also graph using the slope and the y-intercept. So this is a really useful form. But often, especially when we get to like certain word problems and things like that, sometimes the standard form actually makes more sense for writing the equation. And what that looks like, it looks really weird, but it's ax plus by equals c. Now you don't need to memorize this one at all. And a, b, and c are just numbers. Okay, we don't know what they are, so it doesn't matter. But I can't graph this because it doesn't tell me my slope and it doesn't tell me the y-intercept. So what I need to be able to do is turn this form into this form. Okay, and how do I do that? Well, the whole thing here is, in this form that we've been dealing with, y equals mx plus b, y is by itself. So the whole thing here is what you need to do is get y by itself. Okay, so that's what we're going to be practicing. Okay, let me do an example for you real quick just so you can watch, and then I'll show you the problem from your worksheet, and then you'll have some practice to work on this too. So let me just make one up. Let's say, I don't know, 2x plus, actually, let me change it, sorry. Say 3x plus 2y equals 4. Okay, I need to get y by itself. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this goes back to what we did with our literal equations. How can I get y by itself? I'm not going to end up with a number. I'm going to end up with an equation, okay, at the end. So what I'm thinking is I have what is attached to the x? Well, we have 3x, and we have the plus 2. So the 3x is being added, and the 2 is being multiplied. Okay, so we have to get rid of those things. We always get rid of addition first. Okay, this is a single term. So that's what's being added, so we can simply subtract that. Okay, so we simply just need to subtract that. 3x minus 3x cancels out. 2y, we're going to pull down. Pull down my equal sign. 4 minus 3x. Well, I can't do anything to that, so I'm just going to write it. 4 minus 3x. Okay, so we just subtracted 3x. Okay, that canceled out. Now we have 2y. We still need to get rid of 2, so we're going to go back and divide by 2. But this is where you got to remember, oh, I'm dividing by 2 here. You got to divide by 2 everywhere. We saw this on a few problems a little bit ago when we did literal equations. But so when you do divide that, there's multiple terms. You got to divide it everywhere. So 2 divided by 2 cancels out, and you've gotten your y by itself. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Negative 3 over 2x, or negative 3x over 2. We're going to leave that because this is the slope. So you'll notice when you do this a lot of times, you end up with a backwards equation. It's like y equals b plus mx. So it just switched these two. And that's okay. We can rewrite it to be our mx plus b. We're just going to switch these. Keep the y equals. This is a negative 3 over 2x. So if you're going to rewrite them, you got to keep it like that. It was a positive 2, so it's plus 2. Okay, so you can't just switch them and keep the minus. You get that minus is attached to this negative 3 over 2x. So you got to move it with it. And that 2 is positive, so you keep that plus with it as well. So now you know your slope is negative 3 over 2 and your b is 2. Okay, in the next video, we're just going to do a quick example that's going to relate to your worksheet. And then you'll have a few practice problems to work on for this.